All right, let's dive right in. We're going to be looking at a completely new way to think about security, a new set of rules for surviving in a world that's about to be turned upside down by quantum computers and super intelligent AI.
Think about this for a second. This one idea really nails the problem we're up against. See, this isn't some far-off future attack we're talking about. The threat is happening right now, quietly, underneath everything we do online.
So what does that even mean, the future is hacking you? Well, it means all that encrypted data. Your company's biggest secrets, government files, even your personal info. It's all being stolen today. And it's creating this massive, ticking time bomb.
And there's a name for this strategy. Harvest now, decrypt later. Basically, bad actors are just sucking up absolutely enormous amounts of encrypted data. They know that in just a few years, they'll have the quantum keys to unlock every single bit of it. The clock is already ticking on secrets we think are safe today.
And this leads us to a pretty sobering conclusion. The digital walls we've spent decades building to protect ourselves, well, they were designed for a totally different kind of war. They just weren't built to handle what's coming in the quantum era.
This slide shows the huge fundamental shift we're talking about. For so long, our security has been all about math problems, complex equations we thought were too hard to ever break. But guess what? Quantum computers are literally designed to solve these exact problems. The new era of security, it's not based on math anymore. It's based on the laws of physics, which, by their very nature, you just can't hack.
And that right there reveals a massive blind spot in the systems we rely on. Even the gold standards for managing risk in business, frameworks like COSO and COBIT, they were created long before anyone was even thinking about this stuff. They're just not built to deal with physics-based threats.
Okay, so if the old playbooks are out of date, what's the solution? Well, this is where a new framework from Global Board Advisors Corp comes in. It's called Quantum Strategic Intelligence, or QSI for short. And you could think of it as a critical upgrade for our existing security plans.
Now, this is super important. QSI is not about tearing everything down and starting over. Not at all. It's designed to be a strategic layer that just plugs right into the systems companies already have. It helps them translate the super complex world of quantum risk into a language that board members can actually understand and act on.
So what does this actually look like in the real world? Well, QSI gives leaders a brand new toolkit to navigate this crazy new landscape, whether you're in a boardroom or a government office. Let's break down how it works.
The framework is really designed for two main groups. For corporations, it's like a fiduciary plugin, a tool that helps them meet their legal and financial duties when it comes to AI and data security. And for governments, it's an autonomy standard, a way to make sure the nation can stay independent and secure.
Now, on the corporate side, one of the biggest new risks is something called Agentic AI. And listen, this is not your everyday AI that just answers your questions. We're talking about an AI that can act on its own. It can spend money, execute stock trades, write and deploy its own code, all without a human being ever hitting the Enter key.
So how on earth do you control something like that? QSI has a pretty brilliant and simple idea, a physical failsafe, a circuit breaker. If that AI agent tries to do something that crosses a line you've set, like making a trade that's way too big, it doesn't just get a software error, it gets physically disconnected from the network. It's a simple, hardware solution to a very complex software problem.
And here's how QSI makes the whole quantum threat thing tangible for a boardroom. It's called the Mosca metric, and it's a dead simple formula. X is how long your data needs to stay secret, Y is how long it's going to take you to switch to new, quantum-safe security, and Z is the time you have until a quantum computer can break your current security. The rule is simple. If the time you need, that's X plus Y, is more than the time you've got, which is Z, you are in big, big trouble.
Another really cool concept is called crypto agility. The best analogy for this is run-flat tires on your car. It's the ability to swap out an old, broken encryption method for a new one, on the fly, without having to shut the whole system down. It means you can take a hit and just keep on moving.
Now, for governments, the toolkit looks a little different. It's all about national sovereignty. First, there's geopatriation of compute. You can think of this like digital food security. It's about making sure your country isn't relying on another nation for its essential data processing. The second tool is a Wassenaar-1 audit. This is basically a stress test for the supply chain of all the critical hardware that makes quantum computers run, to make sure a country can't be cut off from this game-changing tech.
So when you put all of these tools together, the circuit breaker, the Mosca metric, crypto agility, what's the endgame?
It's all about getting to one place, moving beyond just being cyber-aware and becoming truly quantum resilient.
And this is where we get into awesome physics-based defenses like quantum key distribution. The analogy here is just perfect. Securing a secret with QKD is like sending it on a soap bubble. The very instant someone tries to intercept it, the moment they try to even look at it, the bubble pops, the key is destroyed, and you know immediately that someone was trying to listen in. It's security that's literally guaranteed by the laws of nature.
But let's be real for a second. How ready are most organizations for this shift? Well, the source material suggests something called a Quantum Readiness Index, and if you were to score the average company or government agency today, they'd probably get something like a 42 out of 100. That shows you there is a massive gap between the threat we're facing and how prepared we are for it. Which really leaves all of us with this final, critical question to think about. The data harvest is happening right now, today. The decryption is coming tomorrow. The only question left is, will you be ready when it gets here?